Hey, morning guys. Will, just time prepping. How you guys doing this morning? Hey, it was such a nice overcast day out here this morning. I thought I would just come outside and talk to y'all. It's been kind of a scorcher in the end days, excuse me. But early in the morning, it's starting to cool off a little bit. So I thought I'd just come out here, lean against the fence, talk to you guys for a few minutes. What I want to talk about though is something that I harp on a lot, but I don't like drill it to you. So let's talk about some things that you may want to barter if SHTF were to happen. Things that really happen, things that we don't think about. Some things you just think, well, I'll just get rid of this and this and this and this and this. Well, if you really think everything straight through, and I apologize for the noise, the traffic going by. I've got this mic thing on. Hopefully it'll cancel some of it out. But some of the things I want to talk to you about, we think about that we're going to just get rid of. But we really don't, because when we do, then we're going to say, oh shoot, I wish I hadn't done that. If you're anything like me, that has happened to you more than once for sure. So some of the stuff I want to make sure that we are on the same page with here. As we get older, I guess say oldest, just say older, we start realizing that we don't really need as much things as we did when we were younger. If you're like in your early 30s or early 40s, you kind of think you still have the world by the tail, and you're thinking about, well, I don't have to worry about that because I'll have it, Well, it's not always going to be that way. I mean, I'm finding that the things I did when I was in my 30s and 40s still seem like they were a lot of fun at the time, but now that I'm settling down a little bit, things that you'll think that you'll just have, take for granted, you don't really have it, because when you get older, you're going to be holding on to every little bit that you can, and that's not bad. It's a good thing, because that's what we're taught to do when we're young, and then as we get older, we just learn that, hey, we should have listened, right? So that's where I'm at, and that's where we're going to start up at. I know that we're going to be talking about, I have my cheat sheet here, so if you see me looking down or looking around, it's because I'm trying to put it to you in the right frame of mind, that you don't take offense at it or anything, but just something for you to think about as older adults. So I guess this video is actually for us older folks, not the younger folks. But anyway, I'm going to go on things that we could think about taking care of. We store food for ourselves every stinking day, and we don't even realize it. We go to the store, or we find a sale or whatever, and we just go ahead and buy it, saying, hey, that's a good deal, I'm just going to go ahead and get some of it, and you start building yourself a pantry and saying, well, these are all foods that I'm going to need, and they're on sale now, so I'm going to pick them up. So these are all things that are just everyday items, but you should think about having just because they're on sale doesn't mean that you shouldn't have them on your shelves. These could be life-saving items later down the road, when you're thinking about storing up your pantry and making sure that you have enough for you and your family, but may find some of these other items easy to keep on the shelf for long periods of time, and may come into play when it's time for you to start bartering. Say the grid goes down and it's down a little longer than what you think it's going to be down, so you're going to be thinking about, wow, what am I going to really be doing here? Well, I'm not going to pack my safe out here and show you guys some of the bartering stuff that I have accumulated, like silver and stuff like that. But that's something that you should probably think about. Other things that keep for a long time, but people don't really care for it, would be Spam. Spam is a dinosaur food. don't have to like it now, but when times get really tough, it may taste pretty damn good, you know. You just don't really know till you get there. So if you see Spam on sale, because it's inexpensive anyway if you go and buy it, but if it's on sale, maybe pick up a half a case or maybe even a case if you can afford it, you know, and just stick it back in the corner somewhere, because it's going to last forever unless you damage the cans or you get them exposed to moisture and whatnot. And they're probably going to last you a long time. Another thing to think about is you can buy these already prepared, pre-cooked, they call them, canned hams, and these things are really good to think about because they're like, excuse me, they're like Spam. They don't really go bad really quick, you know, so, you know, we all like ham. Everybody likes ham and Spam, right? Well, you know what? You get burnt out on it and you just don't care for it like you used to, so you put it in the back corner. Another good thing to think about when it comes time to barter, because you may have, if you're doing anything like me, you buy a few things here and there, or a bucket of MREs here and there, just to make sure that everything's rolling right along, but at the same time, building your pantry up. Pantries are good to have because, for one thing, it shows that you're achieving something by saving. So it also makes it look so like you're not a prepper, that you just like food a lot. But anyway, that's something to think about. Another good thing to think about is Vienna sausages, those little wieners in the can, you know. They come in aluminum cans. The cans are virtually indestructible unless you puncture them or something bad happens to them, you know. So, and they're pretty inexpensive no matter what, you know, day in, day out. They're all inexpensive. So just get some, start piling them in the back corner somewhere, you know. If you like me, my pantry is a closet, so I got 3 sides that are nothing but foodstuffs, and so you can walk into it and you get what you want out of there and you leave. Well, what if you left one side of it for nothing but SHTF non-perishables, you know, so that you could supply your family and friends that are in your mag or your group, and then barter some of it away, because, you know, if you're like me and my family, we like our food, so we buy it in bulk, and most folks do anymore. They have so many good places to go, like Costco and Sam's Club and all these places, Wally World, to go, you know, so everybody gathers up what they can. So another good thing to get is tuna in water. And I tell you, if you don't want to get it in the oil seems to go bad over time, but the ones in water, they seem to last the longest. So get you some of that, and it's just common sense stuff that you can just go ahead and rotate it in and out, you know. The old stuff to the front and the new stuff to the back. Just common sense stuff. You know, another good thing to think about is, nobody really thinks about this. I don't know why, but it's a good thing to think about, and that's to buy that, I don't know, it used to be called Dinty Moore, but I think they have generic names for it now, of the beef stew and stuff, you know, and that stuff is actually kept pretty good. It has a shelf life on it, even if you look at it for a long, I don't know, several months. And even if it's out of date, you can still eat that stuff years down the road. Man, that guy was loud, wasn't he? So, you know, that's something to think about. These are all just things to think about, not writing them in the stone or anything like that, but it would all be something good to think about, you know, if shit gets to being bad, you know. So, here is a kicker right here. You guys can get you a 5-gallon bucket, and you can get the ones that say right on the side of them that they're for food only. And you get the sealer lids for them. And if you look at those sealer lids, they have like a little rubber gasket around the inside of them. And that's the difference between non-food and food, is if they have that little sealer around the lid, when you pop that lid down on there, it's sealed up. So think about things like rice and beans and stuff like that on the long term that you're saving for yourself anyway. Well, when you make one of those buckets, make another one and set it off to the side. And call that your, I don't know, your Sunday come to meeting bucket or something like that, and it really helps out, I mean, even if you don't barter it away or anything, it's good just to have, and it doesn't go bad or anything. You just pop those lids down, and you forget about them. You put them down on the floor and push them back in the corner or something, out of the way. So, another good one is dried milk. Dried milk lasts a long time, and people hate it. So, for now, you are drinking whole milk from the cow. You're doing all right. But say something goes bad and they're not, the wheels on the trucks and everything aren't going round and round and things get tough. So dried milk comes into play. You can use it for cooking and you can use it for drinking too. It doesn't have the best taste to it, but you know what? It works in a bind, so think about that. Another thing I had written down is instant coffee, and instant coffee is, I hate it, it's nothing like the real thing, but in a bind it would work, and it keeps forever. It keeps in those sealed jars. Some of them are cans, some of them are jars, but they all have that seal across the top of them to lock in freshness. So it's a good idea, what the heck, another thing that lasts is a forever shelf life on it is honey. Honey has excellent shelf life on it. And, it will go bad if you treat it bad, but, if you don't treat it bad, you seal it up, virtually lasts forever. I mean, sure, they all have expiration dates on them, but all in all, it will last for a long time. So that's something to think about, it comes in handy. It's not good for just eating, It's good for medicinal uses as well, and it comes in pretty good for you, Think about it. Just sit there and think about all this stuff I'm mentioning, all of it's inexpensive stuff. I mean, it comes on sale. All of it does one time or another, and just buy it and put it out of sight, out of mind type of thing. And when you have enough for your family for a year, then you've got enough. Either give to somebody that's not so fortunate, or trade it for something else that you need, like work done around your place, or stuff that you need to fix up around your place, As all this stuff is wrenched towards the older prepper, the younger preppers, the 20-year-olds, 30, 40-year-olds, they're still young enough to fairly take good care of themselves. So, if they're doing the things I'm telling you about right now, if you're in that age bracket and you start doing what I'm telling you right now, that when you get to a bad situation, say a hurricane or maybe World War III or something like that, then you would have extra put away, and you'll be telling yourself, you know what, I'm glad I watched that video that Will put out, and I'm glad I listened to him, because you know what, I'm set. Sure hope everybody else was listening to him as well, so those are all things to think about. Here's a few short ones here too, because I'm getting a little bit long on time, but this is in my opinion, a pretty important video to put out. I put one out about every 6 months or so about it, because it's easy for people to forget. So if you just keep bringing it up like something like a dead horse, if you beat a dead horse long enough, you start doing what you want or whatever. I can't remember the true saying, but Anyway, I'm just going to run down these real fast here. Like I said, I'm running out of time. I like to keep my videos about 15 minutes, sometimes 20, but generally not any more than that. So here's just a few others just to keep in mind would be tea, sugar, salt, and pepper, of course. Here's another good one here I thought was good, and that would be bouillon cubes. Because they come sealed up in those little foil pouches, and they're really good. They last forever. Anything to do with the spice family, they all come in these little packets, and they're all foil, made in foil packets, most of them. And yeah, if you're like me or my family, we just take them and we buy them in bunches because they're 4 for $1 or 6 for $1 or wherever you go to get your food. You know, they're inexpensive. You take them and you just throw them in a drawer, and they're there when you want to make something. So I just suggest that you do that, and when you do that for yourself, buy twice as many of them because they're really inexpensive. Buy 4 or 6 or 8 for yourself, and take 4 or 6 or 8, throw into a bucket somewhere, and start making yourself spices bucket, so to speak, or whatever, you know. Just throw them in there and forget about them. Don't open them up or anything. Gravy packets, top ramen, and cases of soup. Top ramen is dirt cheap. You get eight little buckets of it for $1 or $2, something like that. You can't beat that, you know. And if it came down to it, you'd be able to take care of that, you know. So I just have, I don't know, 10 or so cases of it, and I just keep that for really, really, really hard times, or to trade away down the road somewhere. Okay, the rest of them I got are pretty easy. Powdered potatoes are yucky, but they'd be okay. Coffee in tins. We talked about instant coffee. Let's talk about regular coffee. It comes in tins, or nowadays plastic. You get them in 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pounds, all that good stuff. You know, buy a few extra when they're on sale, because I know coffee is a big commodity. And make sure you buy some, put it away. You're gonna thank me for it. And then they have this new stuff out. It's called whey or something like that. A lot of muscle builders and whatnot use that stuff. But it has a lot of protein in it. So you could take it and you could mix it up with some of your powdered milk. And it would taste a whole lot better than just powdered milk, you know. So think about something like that too. And there's tons of other things that you can think about. This is just a few on the list, and it's not really a few. If you look at my list, it's a big list, but it takes care of everything that you may think about thinking that you're going to need for your family. But they're all inexpensive items that you can actually just buy more of and put away for yourself, or for bartering away later. So the last thing I have on there, and it's got a question mark on it because a lot of people don't really care for it, are MREs. And MREs are, when I started buying MREs, they were pretty cheap. They were $3, $4 for one little package, and it told you it was good for one meal. And if you ate it and you didn't do any physical work, it might be good for one meal, but usually you like 2 or so of them. But over the years, after collecting them for so long, it's almost easier just to buy a bucket, because a bucket is got a lot of meals in it. Excuse me. Something flying around in the air or something. But anyway, think about those, because they're going up in price. So if you can get them now would be the time to get them, instead of waiting until they're out of range on I don't know, the last ones I looked at, just even at being at Walmart, were like $7 or $8. That's just for one, you know. I remember buying them for $3 or $4 just for one. Now they're up to like $8 just for one. So it would be to your benefit to think about buying those a few at a time, or whatever you buy them. You can buy them by the case too, I suppose, if you looked online. But anyway, these are all just things I have thoughts about and bring up every once in a while. This is for the older prepper now. Younger people should be doing it, but sometimes they don't always listen to you. So that's what I have for you for today, you guys. I want you guys to remember that I have live streams on Wednesday mornings. So tomorrow, this is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and guess what? We're going to have a Tuesday morning coffee together. It'll start around 9 a.m. and we'll run around till around 11:30. Maybe 11:30, quarter to 12, probably closer to 11:30 because my son's in college now. So make sure that he gets there on time so that he can take care of me when he graduates. Just kidding. He's doing great. He's taking computer science, so he'll be set up pretty good, hopefully. So see you guys in the morning for sure for that Wednesday morning coffee session. Hey, I want you guys to bring a bunch of your friends with you. You know, as soon as we hit 50 in that Wednesday morning session, I will be giving away more than just a sticker. I'll be giving away one of my new and improved t-shirts from my Teespring store. And instead of just having a logo on the front, now they have imagery on the front and the back. So if you haven't got a chance to get over there and check that out, go over there and do that for me. And I'm getting too long-winded here, so I'm just gonna tell you guys, hey, it's gonna turn out to be a nice day. It's burning off out here. Can't be doing any of this stuff without you guys. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's God bless you guys and it's God bless me, but most of all, God bless US of A. So till next time, I'll catch you guys out there on the tube.